Well, well. Another game goes by. Another loss for your Vancouver Canucks. And unfortunately, right now, we have some problems. Now, I will say it wasn't the worst effort here from the Vancouver Canucks. I thought it was an actual decent effort for the Vancouver Canucks. That being said, even with the decent effort, it's becoming a little bit hard going out and watching these games. Now, I will say this, the game was entertaining. Like this game was entertaining. It was back and forth, pretty entertaining affair. I think it's fair to say that the Canucks in general tonight looked like, hey, maybe just maybe they could pull out even a little bit of a win here against Colorado, who's, when you watch a player like Nathan MacKinnon, who's been Nathan MacKinnon, man. He's unbelievable, man. And you know he's only going at like 50, 60%. And he's just so good. He's just so good. Even though our top line played pretty decently against Nate. But it didn't really matter. So, real tough one tonight. So, let's get to the game real quick. We have a few people in here already, so welcome. I am Rappy. What's going on, man? Aside from the Ducks game, this was the most entertaining in the last 15. They got outstarred us for sure, though. Well, that's the thing, right? That is absolutely the point. Colorado is just a significantly better hockey team. They have more depth. But one of the big things I wanted to talk about is just roster makeup. I'm just looking at, I'm just looking at the fact is our second line center is David Kampf. Like, I feel, and there's nothing against David Kampf. He's obviously playing too high up in the lineup. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make here is that this roster, the way it is right now, with the injuries that we have, I think it's pretty fair to say that, guys, it's not even like everybody's like the defense and this and that and effort and all that. It's just we have no center. We have no center depth, and we're getting caved. And that's the problem. You're not going to get any offense from that second or third line, especially that second line, because you don't have a proper second line center. It's just a monumental problem for this team, and it's the reason why, like, I know this started off a little bit negative, this stream, and we'll talk about some positive things too. There were some positive tonights. Like, I thought PD played a good game. Like, there were definitely some positives tonight, and we'll get to that. But at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks need to go, if I'm not mistaken now, on a 109-point pace. 109 points to make the playoffs, to get 97, 98 points. I think it's important to be realistic. At the beginning of the year, I had the Vancouver Canucks getting 97 points. At the very beginning of the year, that's what I had them at, 97 points. And sounds great. Now, we had a ton of injuries, which obviously were huge problems, right? That being said, it's the managers and general managers' job to go out and find depth. And this offseason, Jim Rutherford went out and he said that the most important thing is we get a second line center. And then he went out and said it would be, I don't know if he's criminal. I don't know the words he used, but he said if we don't get a second line, it would hurt more not getting a second line center or something like that. Okay? When Jim Rutherford goes out and says that, and Patrick Allvin goes out and they don't get a proper center, a second line center. And I know we've talked about it at length, but it's just, I want you to look at this real quick. So this was, stream's going to freeze for just half a second. Okay. I want you guys to look at this. Okay. This is what the lines were at the end of the game. This is what our lines were at the end of the game. Kane hasn't fit well with this team. Pettersson's had a great bounce back season. He's been good. Karlsson moved up the lineup because he's been really good. Well deserved. I've been asking for him to get more minutes. Brock Besser, couple good games, couple of okay games. Like, he's been pretty decent, I would say, this year. David Camp can't really rate him. Rekka Ramaki just came back from injury. But look at the middle of the ice. Sasson, they even said themselves, the Vancouver Canucks general manager, Patrick Allvin, and Jim Rutherford said that Sasson, we see him more as a winger. Yeah, he's forced to play center. Right? Aatu Räty is a third or fourth line center. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Sherwood got bumped down a little bit, but he played a lot of minutes today. He had like 5 or 6 shots. He's one of the few guys who had shots on net tonight. So I don't think he was bad. I thought he was all right tonight. And you look at that. You look at that right in front of you, and you're wondering, a lot of people are wondering, like, why are we near 30th? Like, how do you paint this perfect, nice picture of the Canucks when they're so far down in the standings? But you look at this lineup and, like, this is why. You know? It's not even like, I know you're mentioning doom and gloom. And yes, I get it. We are 5 points out of a wild card spot, but you have to think about winning percentage. You have to think about everything. Demko and Hogg's come back. How many games will Demko get? We hope he's going to stay healthy, but he's been injured like constantly. Hoglander, he's going to need to warm up, right? Like, I'm not saying there's no chance, but about 5 games ago, I said that in 5 games, I'm going to need to take a realistic picture of what this is. And I think we had 3 or 4 losses and 1 win in that time. I think it's time, Rappy, that we kind of have to be a little bit more realistic at what's going to happen here. I think it is. Now, let's start talking about some of the positives. Actually, before we get to that, let's quickly go over the states here. And by the way, thank you guys for joining me on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for joining me on YouTube. If you guys want to be a part of the show, leave a comment over there or on Twitter, either or. It's great. Nice to have you guys, right? And also, if you guys want to support other ways, you guys can super chat. You guys can become members. There's a lot of options to support. Leave comments, like the videos, all this lovely stuff. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. So let's go through the box score here real quick, or the score real quick. Karlsson, he's been much better, and he's been really good. He's been a really good story. You want a positive? There's a positive. He needs more minutes. He's playing hard, working hard out front of the net too. Something I've noticed, right? So that's one thing. Baines with the assist, with Aatu Räty with the other assist. Nathan MacKinnon, Taves, Malinsky with the assist. McKinnon tonight. It's like he was running at 60, 70%, and he was just so good. Our top line did a good job against them, but when he got going against our bottom 6 guys, that was it. Right? Brock Nelson with the goal. Landeskog, Colton made it 2-1, and then Nathan MacKinnon again, 3-1. Landeskog and Manson with the assists. Shots on goal. Let's go all the way into it. 22 shots for Vancouver, 31 shots for the Colorado Avalanche. Face-offs, they beat us 54.5% tonight. Power plays, not a lot of penalties tonight. Both went 0 for 1. Penalty minutes, not a lot of penalties. 2 minutes. Hits, 17 to 18. Pretty dead even. Block shots were pretty close. Giveaways, again, pretty close. 15 to 17, and takeaways 4 to 5. So you see that, and it kind of makes sense. Now, when you look at this, right, this team right now, and where they're playing, I gotta shout out Like, this is not going to be all negative. No, there is some positive. PD tonight, I thought looked all right. He had the 21 minutes. Sherwood had moments. Yeah, I know he looked bad on one goal specifically, but he had moments, and he had 6 shots on net tonight, right? I don't think Jake DeBrusk was very good, though, but Besser was all right tonight. Made one mistake. Carlson, again, 16 minutes. Ice time went up. He was good. On defense, Willander, I thought, again, was solid, right? Hronik tonight was maybe the first night I noticed that he was maybe not great, but, like, he was okay. And Hronik played 24 minutes tonight, and he's been good all year, right? He's been so good for us. Marcus Pettersson, 20 minutes tonight. Quinn Hughes, 28 minutes. They've been trying to get his minutes down. It's not working. He played another 28, almost 29 minutes tonight. I think in the offensive zone, Quinn looked all right. He is shooting a lot of pucks by making those little moves and shooting them into chests. I'm noticing this a lot, but he did have the 4 shots, and he had one nasty ankle breaker. Just a nasty ankle breaker. But I am starting to notice some of the things some people have noticed, and that is, for example, the body language. But it's hard to judge on body language, right? We don't really know what's going on. And then Tyler Myers with the 20 minutes tonight, right? So, let's go to the comments. Give me your opinions of the game, also of the season so far. If you have any questions, let me know on the right side there. And I'll get to some of the media comments here as well, right? We'll get to that. We'll go to the coaches' comments and some of the players' comments, a little bit of everything. All right, let's get to it. I bet on them being 102 points if that makes you feel better. Like I said, Rick, we were both optimists. Like, it's not a situation where we weren't optimistic about this team. I was very optimistic, and I've been very positive about this team for a significant portion. But recently, it's been getting to me, and I'm starting to notice that, hey, man, it's just not looking good right now. Like, let's start being honest here a little bit. As doom and gloomy as it seems, we're only 5 points out of a wild card spot. Still a glimmer of hope. Yeah, there's always that glimmer of hope. But the question is, what's the purpose, right? Like Rapi, like I always said to this, the purpose of every single season, if you, like going into the season, unless you're on a full rebuild, the whole purpose in playing in the National Hockey League is to win a Stanley Cup. You got to do everything in your power, management, scouting, amateur scouting, everything to win the Stanley Cup. That is the most important thing. So, yes, we have a chance, but, when you have David Kampf as your second-line center, that's not going to be enough to beat any of these teams in the playoffs. We got to be realistic about this. It's not even doom and gloom take. It's just a realistic take. We need Demmer back for sure, 100%. And if we're going to go on a run, it's going to be because of Demmer. Hughes is getting frustrating to watch. How many times is he going to waste shots on net for a play to die? He also missed the net when he was in the slot. How? Well, it's just I think he's trying to do more than what he needs to because of how this season's going. And I think the coaching staff keeps saying they want to reduce his minutes, and they just don't, because they know, like, they're better with Quinn Hughes on the ice significantly. So that's their best chance of winning, is having Quinn out there. As for the shots on net, I have noticed a bit of that, but I think he's just trying to do too much. And I can't even blame him, personally. Like, it's hard to blame him. He really, he cares, man. And he's getting pissed. He's annoyed. And he's trying to do everything he can. Finally out trading Hansen, paying off. Carlson doing well. Our Hansen, yeah. Carlson's been very good. And he's been good for a while now. And he didn't get the minutes. And now he's getting the minutes. That's something I'm really excited for. I would love to see Carlson continue to get some minutes here. Well-deserved minutes. He's been very good. How much can we get for Sherwood? I've said this on every stream, and I'll say it again. I want to get a minimum first rounder or 2 second rounders for Sherwood. Now, he has not scored now for 4 games, but I still think he looks really good. Personally, I still think he looks really good. So even though he's not scoring, I still think he looks pretty damn good. Now, he did make one mistake today, but overall, he's been good. So what can we get for him? I don't know. I'm just hoping it's going to be at least a first-round pick or a young player or 2 second-rounders. I think that's fair. Apparently, there's a ton of interest on Trade Center. They talked about it. Dollywall talked about it. Elliot Friedman talked about it. Darren Drager talked about it. Everybody's talking about it. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the trigger here within the next couple weeks. Yeah, again, not a best game for you. Trying too hard, I think. He's had so many bad games this year. Unlike last year, dragless every game. He's off and like I said, I think he's just trying to do too much personally. That's my take on it. I think he's just trying to do too much. But I don't think he's been bad per se. He's playing 28, 29 minutes a game. I don't think Quinn Hughes has been bad. I just don't think he's been like all world. Like sometimes he can be, but he did look all world in that one deke though. I guess later first from a team like Tampa, Carolina, and maybe even LA. You see the stat line. We have 1 assist this year from our second line. Wow. What a stat. Oh my God. What a stat. We have 1 assist this year from our second line, I guess center, and it was Reichel on a secondary assist. That is stunning. That is absolutely stunning. By the way, this is a tweet from Blake Price. The Vancouver Canucks are on pace for 69 points. Oh, boy. Rappy, what do you think of that one? That's not good. You know, I'm going into this season, I'm like, it's going to be so fun. We're going to have a nice bounce back here. Everything is going to be great. But it's been rough, man. It's been pretty rough. What other stats do we have here from the Canucks post-game show media? Tommy is not in a good mood, by the way. Tommy is not in a good mood. Tommy's posting some. He's pissed. Tommy, if you're in here, say hello. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, let's see what some of the media here has to say about the game. Oh, by the way, Brock Besser, he was in a little bit of pain. He seems to be okay. He was out there at the end, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Macker Gold here. Interested what the future holds for our injured 2C. Not a lot of updates. Well, Philip Hedl, the most recent update that we got was from Adam Foote. And Adam Foote, if I'm trying to remember, they said that he still weighs away, but it's looking better or something than it was before. At the end of the day with Philip Hedl, we just need to go and just be honest about it. First of all, we want him to be healthy for his family. He's had a ton of concussions. I'm not giving lots of hope here that he comes back anytime soon. I don't think he's the solution. And I'll be honest, where we are in the standings, can you honestly go out now and find a second line center and do it properly? And considering where we are in the standings, like, would that even be a good move? Right now, purposely, the time was at the beginning of the season. It's not now. I think that ship has sailed. Rutherford himself went out and said, by the way, he went out and he said that or it was an article with Rutherford, and he basically said it was Drancer. Sorry, it was Drance. He went out and he said that they're done looking for a second line center. So that basically tells you that they're done with looking to improve this year. We're looking more at a retool, rebuild situation, right? Even that Rutherford interview, he basically said that we're looking for younger players. We want to trade our veterans and all that stuff, right? Personally, that's just how it looks. Buy out Hedl if you can in the offseason. I don't have an opinion on that right now. Chance Hedl comes back, but almost he retires for his health sakes. Yeah, man, I'm worried about his health for sure. If we win the number 1 overall pick, we pass on McKenna to get a center. No. we need more than just the center, right? It's not just the center. We need elite players in pretty much every position except for defense, unless Quinn leaves. Well, then we need elite position players in every single thing. And Hans got the point. You can just stick him on LTIR, right? So you don't really need to buy him out. Fair. That's very fair. By the way, we have a ton of people in here. Over 120 on Twitter. Welcome. We have a ton of people here on YouTube as well. Welcome. Thank you guys for hanging out at the Vancouver Canucks post-game show here with Jacob Doodle here. If you guys want to be a part of the show, go leave a comment right over there on the side. It'll be great. Or leave a comment on Twitter, and I'll get to your questions and everything. Also, you guys can like the YouTube stream. Become a subscriber. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. I know we can do it. If you're a lurker, jump on. Become a subscriber. I would really appreciate it. And if you're on Twitter, become a follower too if you're not already followed. I Am Rappy says, maybe Alvin sees Coots as our future second-line center next year, and thus the search is over. That would be a crazy gamble. He did make the team, but he's been okay in the WHL. We need more than that. We need more than that. And if we lose Quinn Hughes, and the more it looks like we might, you gotta think bigger picture, I think. I think it's important to think bigger picture in that stage. You know what I mean? Now, when you look at this lineup, it's pretty obvious where our issues are, right? It's pretty obvious. I thought the defense was fine tonight. They stopped an absolutely bulldozer Colorado Avalanche team to 3 goals. I thought the defense overall was fine tonight. I thought Lankinen had a really nice showing. I thought Lankinen was good tonight, which was really important to see. You know what I mean? I thought it was important to see. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you think about the coaching that Foote is doing so far this season? Because this has been a pretty big talking point. Also, let me ask you guys, if we're going to go the trade route, what do you guys think a guy like Sherwood or Connor Garland, or do you even want to trade Garland? What do you think Kane is worth? What do you think some of our veterans are worth? Because other than talking directly about this game, we've kind of covered it already. Let's go longer term picture here. It's more fun also. Trades, season. Give me your thoughts. I want you guys to really dig into the comment section, and I want to put it on the screen so we can talk about it. I can talk about it anyway if you don't want to be on the screen, but you have to let me know what you want it. Adam Foote is doing amazing for Team Tank. He's awful. You know, I don't think Foote is doing awful. I don't think he's doing great. I think he's just kind of just doing mid. I want to say it's he's a big part of this losing, but it's, guys, look at our lineup, man. Look at the injuries we have. Look at the center position. You could have freaking the best coach in the National Hockey League. And we have David Kampf as our second line center. It's not a shot at Kampf. But he's not a second-line center. Sasson, our Canucks management said themselves he's a winger. I like Sasson. Aturatu is the only center on Petey. Petey's been good. You know? Like, look. So it's not just coaching. Now, could he do better? Sure, of course. A lot of people can do better. He's been fine. But he's not the main reason we're losing here. Like, we have a lot of problems. Also, just for fun, give me one positive thing about this game and one positive thing about the season so we can kind of have some positivity here as well. I would be okay with one or two of Garland, DeBrusk, Besser, Kane, or Sherwood being traded for a grade A prospects and top 40 picks. Okay, so let's go what I think. So again, Sherwood, I think it will be a first or 2 seconds is what I'm looking for, right? DeBrusk, I don't know if they want to trade. He has a no movement clause. Don't think that's going to happen. A big leadership guy as well, right? Besser, leadership guy, is not going anywhere. Kane, I think he's leaving. I think he's going to get traded. I don't know where, but you're not going to get anything for him. It's going to be peanuts. Absolute peanuts. So the only real guy, and Garland, that's the question. Like, if someone blows you away with a package and a young center gets involved, I would do it. If you're doing it just for draft picks, just keep Garland. He's signed. Why trade him? Why trade him? No point. Canucks trade soon. Gabs Bands, is this the first time you've commented on here? Welcome, Gabs. Nice to have you on here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, there's Kevin. I think I've seen you here before, but I'm not sure, but welcome as well. I think Foot's been okay. His roster and next to no practice times have really hurt his potential and system. I don't even know what the system is, which is a bit of a problem. Like, I really don't even know what the system is personally. So we've had so many games. I guess a defensive system, but he always he wants to transition the puck as well. We haven't seen a lot of it, but again, like, there's a lot of injuries. It's kind of hard. But I also think there's some players that, like, for example, DP's had a sophomore slump. Marcus Pettersson hasn't been as good this year, right? Myers hasn't been great this year. So, like, that's a big reason. But Quinn Hughes has been great, or pretty damn good, and Hronik's been great. So it's like they are getting some guys passing the puck to the middle of the zone. It's just you don't have the talent up front. It's a talent issue, guys. Like, this is a talent issue. I'm leaving this lineup up so you guys can see. Like, this is a talent issue right now. Like, we gotta be honest, right? It's a talent problem. Both DeBrusk and Besser are on a great value contracts long term. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And DeBrusk, I think he's a guy who will be better with better team around him as well. I think he plays up to that style, and he's a very streaky player, good out front of the net. But just my thoughts there on DeBrusk. As for Besser, I think he's been good. I think Besser's been good this year. This is what I saw in the preview with 1D always on the rush. But, like, do we have the talent to go out and do something like that? Right? Kane, back to his Oilers for a second. That's actually a team I was thinking about. Right? Also, you gotta mention, like, retaining, right? Retaining cap. You can, in theory, if you wanted to trade a guy like Quinn Hughes at the deadline for a crazy package, right? Crazy package. If he doesn't want to stay here, right? What would it cost if you retain 50% of Quinn Hughes' salary as well on top of it? Then a team is getting Quinn for what? Like $3.5-4 million? Now, we'll have to make another trade to get rid of someone to do that, I think. But just something, or no, maybe not. That doesn't make sense. But Garland, Sherwood, and Kane should fetch enough high picks to rebuild. Kane shouldn't be in this equation. Kane, if you trade Kane, you're getting at worst or at best a 4th or 5th round draft pick. I don't think you're getting much more than that. Kane looked injured at the end of the game. I did notice that. I think it was his arm or wrist. Hard to have a transition game when you're always chasing the puck. It's talent. It's a talent issue. They need to make a trade soon. A lot of people believe in that. A lot of people believe that we need to go out and make a trade as soon as possible. So, yeah, it's... Guys, I'm looking right now. Right? Let me put this up for you guys. Right? This is where we're at. So, this is where we're at. Where is it? Right here. Right now, with 27 games played, we are third last in the league. We have a points percentage of .426. We only have the 23 points. And we're 2-6-2 in the last 10. It's not looking good. You know? It's just not looking good, guys. Oh, it's depressing. I want to talk about wins and excitement. Can we retain him on OEL and McKayev on the books? By the way, OEL is playing great for Toronto, man. He has really turned it on. Yeah, well, that's the question. Can they? I don't know. Someone can answer that question legally. Are we able to? That's a good point. Hedl can't be our second line center anymore of how injury prone he is. Yeah, it's fair to say. Mark Coleman, what's up, man? Eve, people, the tank continues. I see. Yes, the tank, or some people call it the tank. I think they're still playing hard. Like, I don't think this is a situation where the Canucks are right now playing terrible. They're not playing terrible. They're still playing all right. This is a talent issue and an injury issue mixed in with average coaching and hitting positions that we have no depth in, a.k.a. our center positions. The Jabroni, what's up, buddy? The record is just too hard to ignore. It's too hard. It's too hard to ignore. Like, yes, we're 5 points out of a playoff spot. But if you use point percentage, we're probably around 7 or 9, right? I would say. So, we have to go on a 100 and I think I saw a 109 point pace. Come on. Quinn Hughes tonight. He just had an interview. I wonder if I can get this up for you guys. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys. Let me see if I can get this. All right, here we go. All right. So this is Quinn Hughes. All right. One sec. It's glitching out. Fortunately, it's glitching out. I'm sure someone's going to post it in a minute. But, so this was posted by Mike Halford here. All right. Let's get this up here on the screen. Oops. I hit the wrong button. Let's get this up on the screen here. All right. This is our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. There's not a lot of blowouts. You know what I mean? Like, you look at this, there's not a lot of blowouts. 5-4, close game. 5-3, close game. 4-3, close game. We won against Tampa. 8-5, weird game. Didn't go well. 4-2, decently close against a good team. The bad one was Calgary. That was a bad one. 5-2. Right? We beat Anaheim. Close game, San Jose. Close game, Los Angeles Kings. And tonight, close game, Colorado. Like, they're playing okay. They're playing well. Like, okay. Not well, maybe a little hard. They're playing okay. But they're losing, and they're losing, and there's only so much you could do. You know what I mean? Any update on Kane? No, I have no update right now. Let me take a quick look and see if there's anything new that just popped up in the last few seconds here. So just give me 1 sec here. It doesn't look to be the case. No, nothing as of yet. Too much money in goaltending to be this bad with too many holes to fill. Well, what they were hoping is they had a nice backup plan with, if Danko got hurt, that we had a great goalie still to hold the line in Lankinen. And Lankinen's been below average this year. I think that's pretty fair to say. I think he's been better recently. Much better. But our defense has been worse this year than expected. And we've had a ton of injuries up front, and we have no centers other than Petey. And Ratu's all right as a third or fourth line center, and that's it. So that's it. that's it right there. Looked like Kane took the linesman's skate to his wrist. Hopefully just stitches. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what happened to Kane there. I'm not 100% sure what happened to Kane. I thought it was his wrist or his arm. Something like that for sure. So before we go and talk about the future here, and we go to the next segment of this stream, let me ask you guys final comments on this game. What are your final comments against the Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche? What did you think about this game as a whole? Tell me some of the positives and tell me some of the negatives. Let me know what you guys think about this game, and then we can move on to some of the other real interesting parts moving forward here at the Canucks, because there is a lot of real interesting things, to talk about. So it looks like no one wants to even talk about the game anymore. Fair enough. Let me ask you guys a simple question. The people that are in here, are you ready to be on Team Tank? Or are you guys okay with a retool with the younger players and everything? Or are you guys on the stay the course until at least the trade deadline? Where are you guys in this equation? Sherwood and Petey, both solid and entertaining. Hughes, lots of mistakes and bad passes. Overall, we didn't get embarrassed, so that's a win. Yeah, I thought we played well tonight, considering. And I think the coach is going to go out and say that as well. But they need to get W's, man. They need to start winning if they have any hope to make the playoffs. We look good at the start, and wind went out of our sails. Yeah. By the way, we have over 300 people now on Twitter. Looks like a lot of people were curious about this one. Team sells vests for 18 to 24-year-olds, 3 to 4 year. Any specific players you're mentioning? I made a top 10 list, or not a top 10, but a 10 player list video and comparable video. Definitely go check that out, guys, if you haven't. Also, like this, if you guys haven't liked the stream yet, if you guys can like the stream, that really does a lot. Also, hyping my videos also does a lot as well. It's one of the new features on YouTube. That'll be great if you guys can hype as well. I don't think it matters. We're so bad. Any moves management makes will barely move the needle. Okay, well, let me ask you then a follow-up there, Mega. Do you think Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin should be the general manager and president to go out and make these moves? Because you know what we heard, the rumor today? There was a rumor that I think it was Cam Robinson mentioned it, that there's some buzz with Talon and the Canucks. And I'm pretty sure he has a relationship with the Aquilini family. So that's that. This year's draft class makes it easy to hop on Team Tank. I 100% agree. It's a stacked draft. Oh, but you know what's crazy? A lot of people are not mentioning is next year's draft is also stacked. There's back-to-back drafts. Like, if there's ever been a time to, like, at least do a 2 or 3 year rebuild, like, it would be now. Their draft this year and next year are absolutely stacked. Would it be easier if we knew Hughes' future would look like? Absolutely, and I think they're going to find out by the deadline. They're going to ask him. But the question is, what will Hughes say? Like, what if Quinn Hughes says, you know what, I don't know. I need until the offseason. Then what? Then what do we do? To help this team stay in the course and doing nothing makes the most sense. And trading vets for prospects and picks. To help this team staying the course and doing nothing makes the most sense. And trading. So, are you saying you don't want to rebuild? You want to just do a retool, trade the vets for some prospects and picks, reload, and go at it again? Is that what you're saying, Mega? Hands? By the way, Hans, is that you in the picture? Look how dashing you look. Specific players depends on a lot, on who's willing to go. So many no movement clauses. But the most important ones that don't have them is Sherwood and Quinn Hughes. And Garland. Technically, it doesn't kick in until the offseason. Or until the offseason, right? Until July 1st. So it's 3. 3 of our major players. So if they wanted to do it, they can. No, please no. At this point, we should trade and tank. Also, Rutherford and Alvin need to go. I'm starting to hear that a little bit more now that the Vancouver Canucks should look at potentially, getting rid of Alvin and Rutherford. I don't like when people get fired. It just sucks. It's never fun. But if people feel that they're not doing a good job, and I think it's pretty fair to say they bungled this offseason. I think it's more than fair to say now, right? Everybody said going into the offseason, the number one most important thing was to find a second line center. Letting a guy like Suter go, who's been really good this year. Not signing a guy like Jack Roslovic, who's been very good, by the way. I know he's kind of a winger hybrid as well, but he's been very good for Edmonton. Not a true second-line center, but he would be something better than what we have, right? And not trading for one. But at the counter to that is, hey, we didn't trade Tom Willander, who looks great. So that's important. Still kept it. I'm saying no big moves. I'm saying making no big moves to. Sorry, you're gonna have to try to waste our picks. Oh, I see what you mean. Rutherford might be too old for another retool or rebuild. I don't. If Rutherford's not going to do okay, first of all, that's the thing about this team. Like, I won't believe a rebuild will ever happen until they actually go out and say it's going to really happen. This being a Canucks fan for as long as I have, history has already proven to me that this organization has no interest in doing a rebuild. By the way, Adam Foote tonight said we were right there. We didn't give them too much, but it shows that if you're a little bit off on a couple plays, they'll take advantage of that. And I think that's because that's a talent issue. I think Colorado is just simply a more talented hockey team. They buried the chances they had. And even though we played well, we just couldn't hold up. And by the way, the O Jabroni agrees here with I am Rappy. I don't like us trading draft picks away and acquiring them for Marcus Penner was a mistake. But it was only a mistake. This is the part I'll kind of fight back on just a little bit. Because the whole point of this season was to get Quinn Hughes to sign a long-term extension to be as good as possible. I don't think the problem was trading that first for Marcus Pettersson because we weren't in the same equation then. We were thinking that Demko was going to be pretty healthy this year. We were thinking at that time that we were going to go find a second-line center. It was a completely different mindset at that time. Remember, you have to think at that time. The real problem is this offseason we didn't find that second-line center. That's changed the entire equation. It changed it. Completely changed this whole equation. This year would be worlds different, especially if we had Suter and or Rosberg instead of Kane on the roster. I think it would be better. I don't know if it would be enough difference to be in the playoffs or not, but it would definitely put us in a much better position. Now, the whole point was keep Quinn happy. Now with the season, how it's unfolded, Now it's obvious to say, okay, well, wasn't the best idea. Well, at the time we didn't know that. We wanted to win, and that's kind of how it works. Now, I guess we could go on a crazy run and still make the playoffs. It's just very unlikely, right? I'm also tired of taking on projects that other teams gave up on. I don't mind it. It's a cheap option to find out what you have. I have no problem. At the end of the day, I think it's important to just draft better as well. I think our drafting's been pretty decent, though, I think, considering. Do you think DPD has a place on this team, or can he be a trade piece to go along with Garland or Sherwood? I wouldn't trade him. No way in hell. Yes, he's having a sophomore slump this year. He's not looking as good. You know what I would do, personally? I would send him down to Abbotsford, play him a stupid amount of minutes, hopefully gain a little bit of confidence back. Now, the problem is Abbotsford's really bad right now because of all the injuries that we had on the main roster and pretty much just eating their lineup apart. So that's a big problem. But I would be okay with setting down DPD, giving him a lot of minutes, hopefully get some of that confidence back and then call him back up. I wouldn't trade him. No way. You don't trade a young, good defenseman like that. No way. No way. To go along with Garland or Sherwood package, well, what are you targeting? If you're saying to do that for a guy like McTavish or something, sure. But they just signed him, so that's not going to happen. So who are we targeting here, Jabroni? Who are you looking at that would make some sense with this specific scenario? Mega, we were bad last year when we traded for Marcus Pettersson. Yes, but we were preparing a bit. We signed him to extensions. We were preparing for next season as well. Oilers lost to Minnesota 1-0. That sucks. Was it in overtime? It's good for us. I can't stand Oilers, so happy with that. Sucks for them. Garland DPD for Kent Johnson. I really am high on Kent Johnson. I know he's had a bad year. He was great the year before. A Garland and DPD for another winger, because he is a winger. Kent Johnson is a winger. I wouldn't do it. I think that's too much. By the way, can I ask you guys, let me ask you guys real quick. I'm going to put a poll question. Would you use the reason I'm asking this question, so I have a poll up right now. Let me get your guys' takes on this. The reason I'm asking this is because there's a poll up on YouTube, by the way. So people are on Twitter. If you guys want to be a part of the poll, just head over there. Now, the reason I'm putting this up is because there was, I think it was Riccio on his new show. He's out in Toronto now. He was asked the question, what would it cost? You know, what should the Canucks get for Quinn Hughes if they trade him at the trade deadline? And he said a minimum of 2 premium assets. So, would you trade Quinn Hughes for just 2 premium assets, or would you need a minimum of 3 or 4? So, if it's yes, it's 2 premium. No, it's 3 or 4. So, what is a premium asset? Well, a top prospect is a premium asset. A first-round draft pick is a premium aspect, and a good young hockey player, like a real good young hockey player, is a premium asset. So, for example, would you trade Quinn Hughes for Simon and what's his name? Oh my God, killing me. What's his name? Where is he? Mercer. Would you do that deal? If this was offered, and if this was offered at the trade deadline, would you do this deal? So Simon there, he has 15 points in 26 games, 6'1", 190 pounds, 21 years old. Mercer, he is 24 years old. He's at 21 points in 26 games. Both good stats. Would you do that for Quinn Hughes? Now, you're saying you're going to go Hischier. You're never going to get Hischier. They're not going to trade him. No chance. You could ask. It's not going to happen. They won't do it. They won't do it. Premium assets. This is what I'm talking about. Like, let's look at Philadelphia. Right? Would you do Michkov plus their first rounder for Quinn Hughes? Because I feel like this is kind of the stuff people are going to be offering. I don't think they're going to be offering stuff like Hischier, for example. I don't think they're going to be offering stuff like Dahlin. I don't think they're going to be offering like this. Is, you know what I'm trying to say? So if you're not going to do it, then you wait until the offseason, and then you're stuck basically just trading to New Jersey Devils. So my question is, do you think you can get this package as soon as the offseason for Quinn Hughes? If the answer is yes, then you might as well try to get more. Right? So we got no center. I'd want a 4-2 roster players of prospects and picks. Again, the biggest problem with this whole Quinn Hughes situation, trading situation, is that with Quinn Hughes specifically, right now, a team can have him for 2 playoff runs, or in the offseason, it's just he's a rental or he's going to New Jersey on a signed extension. Right? You'll probably get more now. But how much more? Yeah, I guess, sorry. Hans, in my defense, that was the first poll I've ever done here. Let me try this. Poorly framed. Obviously, 3 or 4 probably, but not an option. Okay. How would I word this then? But you get the gist of it, right, Hans? Like you get the gist of it. You get the gist of what I'm trying to say, right? No. Margo says you can trade him anywhere. He has no protection. But a team, if you're going to trade him to a contender, they pretty much know, unless it's maybe Detroit or maybe Philadelphia, they know that there's no chance he's going to most likely sign. So you're literally getting them for just 2 years. Are they willing to give away 3 or 4 premium assets for just 2 years of Quinn Hughes? That's the ultimate question. I would love it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I have to be realistic. I just don't think so. And I hope I'm wrong, because I would love to have 3 or 4 premium assets. But probably not an option, so no talk. See what is okay. So you're saying obviously 3 or 4, but probably not an option. So you also agree, Hans, that like most likely we're not going to get 3 or 4. So we're probably just going to get 2, maybe 2.5. Maybe we'll get a second rounder or something in it as well. Right? No talk at tax needs to add more. Laughing, yes. So your question is, do you trust management to get the most of it? Now we're getting somewhere. Do you trust the management to get full value for Quinn Hughes? It's a good question. It's a very good question. I don't know. They haven't in the past. I think it's fair. By the way, this is Adam Foote on Lekkerimaki. All right. On Lekkerimaki. Right here. Adam Foote on Lekkerimaki. He's smart. He's going to be bigger and stronger. Like, he's going to get thicker as time goes by. He's calm with the puck. He doesn't panic. He's not bad in the corners or in the tough areas. But as he gets more comfortable with his pace and as he gets more girth, I think it will be good stuff. So, Adam Foote seems to be pretty high on Lekkerimaki, which is nice. No for do you trust the management? After what they got for Miller, heck no. No, they tend to wait too long or get lower for nothing. Well, the one year they didn't wait, they got Lindholm and Zadorov, and I thought both those deals were decent. And that Hronek deal turned out decent. At the time, it was scary. No, not after all. So it looks like you guys are mostly in consensus here. Fascinating. Guys, we've been doing it for about an hour. Yeah, Foot's amazingly positive on the team. You know what? And that's the thing about Foot I do like. He is very positive on this team, considering where we are. So I got to give him credit for that. Like, I thought he would be snapping a few more times. He's really trying to turn this, because they haven't played bad, guys. It's just they're not getting the results, right? They're not getting their results, and it's a talent issue right now. But, guys, I want to say thank you. Do I think it's going to happen this week? Probably in the next 2 weeks, I think. I think they're moving in that direction. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. All the people in here, drop a like on my YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to me on YouTube. We're going to have some videos in the next few days. Also a surprise one that you guys can look out for. And we're probably going to make a Quinn Hughes trade video. It's been highly requested. So we're probably going to go out and do that. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. It's getting tougher out there, boys, but we're holding strong a little bit. We'll see what's going to happen here after the Christmas when the deadline comes around, and I'll see you guys most likely next game. When is the next game? Canucks schedule. The next game we have is on Friday, it seems like. So, we have a bit of a break here. There might be a trade in this next few days, actually. It's against Mammoth. It's at 6 p.m. So, yes, I will be able to be doing that. I'm going to go be on the post-game show for that one. Shouldn't be a problem unless something comes up with me and my wife. Shouldn't be an issue. But they're also playing the Wild on Saturday. So one way or another, I'll either be live on the Friday or on the Saturday. One of those 2 days, I will be live for sure. So definitely look out for that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and chilling. It was a blast. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome evening. Cheers. That was a solid hour.